Brendon, Pakistan have never been whitewashed at home. That's exactly what you and your team have done. How proud are you of this achievement?
Yeah, incredibly proud. I think when you turn up here in Pakistan, you know that you're going to have to work incredibly hard over the sort of 3 or 4 weeks that you're here, and you're going to be tested in different ways as well. And we were tested. We were tested on the field. We were tested off the field. And the guys stuck together and continue to turn up and want to keep taking the game forward and taking this team's mantra forward. And I thought there were some defining moments right throughout the series where we could easily have lost games, but the guys were able to find a way in those pressure moments, and we walk away with some fond memories for not just on the field but also off it.
One of those defining moments has to be that first day in Rawalpindi. To go and get 506 in 75 overs, that is some statement.
Yeah, it's more than I thought we were going to make, to be honest. I think the way that Zach Crawley and Ben Duckett started for us in that test match, it really kind of laid a marker out for where this team wants to be and how brave they're prepared to be as well. And also to try and play the role that the team needs you to play rather than sort of getting too caught up in your own stuff. So that was a huge day for us. It allowed us to try and, I guess, force a result in that game, and maybe the series would have been different if we hadn't have gone down that route. So yeah, some really defining moments. I thought the skipper was absolutely magnificent right throughout the series, and again, not just on the field. Everyone sees what the decisions he makes and the strings he pulls on the field, but it's his man management and his ability to get the very best out of each member of the side off the field, which is the most impressive part from my point of view.
If we go on to the batting, I've just spoken to Ben Duckett, Ollie Pope. They all talk about taking away that fear of failure. Go out and express yourself. It's easy to say that. How have you and the captain put that in process?
Well, again, it's the captain's mantra, really, isn't it? This side's very much in the image of the skipper and Stokesy, and he wants the guys to go out there and play with the most amount of freedom that they can. I guess he's got the benefit of a long and distinguished career behind him, and he's at that stage of his life where he wants to do something significant and wants to make a real impact, and that's not just on the game but on other people's careers. And he's identified that taking away that pressure and that fear of failure allows the talent to come out and the skill to come out. And I think what we've seen over the last 7 or 8 months is that skill and talent is not a question when it comes to the English cricket side, not just this group but also the group which sits below. So all we try and do is to remain consistent with the messaging, have a smile on your face, and no matter whether things work out or whether they don't, just be consistent with those conversations, and and try and force guys to just, not force, but encourage guys to just go out there and try and allow their talent to come out without that fear of failure.
And the rate that they've got their runs, because that fear of failure has gone, has bought you time to get 20 wickets. On these pitches, that has been absolutely vital, especially first innings here, having lost the toss to bowl them out for 304. That was some achievement. Yeah,
it was a great achievement. I mean, if you look at the whole 6-7 months, I think we've taken 20 wickets in a test on 9 out of 10 occasions. So it's one thing scoring fast, and it's one thing putting teams under pressure with a bat, but you've got to be able to bowl teams out as well. And the mantra within the group is, how do we take wickets? What is our every time we've got the ball in our hand is how we're going to try and get this guy out. And if you go for runs, you go for runs, but we'll back ourselves in that we'll try and chase those runs down later on. But I think once you have that mindset and you free yourself up from having to worry about runs, it allows you to at least look at things with a positive mantra. So yeah, I think again, the skipper, he never lets the game drift. He's always got something happening. He's always pulling a string somewhere, and the guys follow him. And it's a great combination to have, and it makes it pretty easy when you're watching up in the coach's box, to be fair.
And you've selected well. A previous regime, there was rotation, and there were odd selections, and reading of pitches weren't quite right. You've read pitches well, like a second pitch in Multan. It looked like a 2-spinner pitch, but you backed your seamers. Then you come here, and you could have easily backed your seamers again, but you play the 2 frontline spinners.
Yeah, there might be good luck rather than good management there, to be fair. I can't read a cricket wicket to save myself, but we've got to try and make a decision and stick to it. And again, I think once you do make decisions, if you're getting buy-in and you've got the skipper who's leading the way with things, then guys, they find a way to get the job done for you anyway. And I think we got a little bit lucky maybe with some of those selections along the way. But I guess you need a little bit of that too. So I think we're lucky where we're at the moment, and I know our next test is going to be a different scenario again, where you ask different things of different players. But so far, I think the squad will learn a whole lot from what we've been able to achieve here.
That second spinner here was an 18-year-old making a debut. What a great story that is for Rayan Ahmed and his family.
Yeah, we had a part to play in that as well, Nas. Your speech to our cap presentation was absolutely brilliant, and to be honest, there was a few tears floating around the dressing room as well not long after that. Even a couple of days, deep into it, the boys were still talking about how amazing that moment was, and it sometimes reminds you that you never take it for granted, and I think that's the beauty of bringing in some great stories. And Rayan is just an amazing story. He's a guy who loves the game so much, his family loves the game so much, and he's clearly got a huge amount of talent and ability, and we just got to allow him to be able to develop at his own pace, and we'll give him the opportunities when they come, but also we'll look after him when we need to. But he couldn't have been any more impressive than what he's been so far.
How do you look after that development? Because you're going to be with the England side, he's going to be with the England side for quite a bit. But when he goes away, can you force a county to play him more? If he's not playing, he needs to be bowling now, surely.
Well, look, I think you can't force anyone to do anything, but I think maybe a few people might have realised just how talented he is and what a difference he can make in a game. He is a rare talent. We said that at the start. He's nowhere near the finished product, and we've got to try and nurture that over the next few years to allow him to get to where he wants to get to. But look, I'm pretty relaxed, to be honest. I think go and play some franchise cricket around the world, get some exposure to different conditions, try and play as much cricket as what you possibly can, and get as many experiences as you possibly can in the shortest period of time, and we'll end up benefiting from it. And when it comes to 4-day or test stuff, then that's up to us to be able to ensure that when he is with us, he's still coming in with the same positivity which he came in here, and over time his skill level will just continue to increase anyway, but just not rush him, I guess.
Tell us about the skipper. You've mentioned him a few times. You'd have played under some very good skippers yourself. You were a very good skipper. What does this man do so well, constantly do so well? 9 from 10 since you both took over.
Yeah, look, we see what he does on the field, which I think's, there's maverick in it, and there's genius in a lot of it, and he's just got an insatiable appetite to keep moving the game forward, which is super impressive. But for me, it's the man management, it's the consistency message, it's the pure passion and drive that he's got to actually make a significant difference in Test cricket and significant difference in English cricket, which is most impressive. So I feel incredibly lucky that I've taken over this job when Stokesy has got the reins, and I think he's only going to get better and better and better, which is quite scary, because if he continues to improve, he continues to drive this team forward, then the talent that sits within the dressing room will give it a good shake anyway.
You're always happy to play the sort of I'm behind the scenes, but your impact has been incredible. You're just quite happy to sit back and let everyone else take the credit?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't do bugger all, to be honest. I sort of just make sure that the guys remain consistent with their own beliefs, and they all want to be the best version of themselves. They all want to be the best cricketer they can be, and they all want to play in a winning team and make a significant difference to the game worldwide. So when you've got all of that, you've really just got to keep guys on task every now and then, and try and make sure that if things do go down a sort of slightly negative path at any stage, you just remind them of what we're about. And to be honest, it's a really easy job. Don't tell my bosses, but it's actually a really easy job, and I'm really enjoying myself. And I couldn't have asked for a better opportunity, to be honest.
And we're enjoying watching your team. Well done this year.
Thanks.